Good morning. Let's begin with a scenario that may feel deeply familiar. You are trying to do everything right for your health. You follow the advice. You choose the foods that are labeled heart-healthy. You diligently track your numbers. Yet, despite your best efforts, your blood pressure remains stubbornly, frustratingly high. I understand how disheartening this can be. You put in the effort, you make the sacrifices, and when the results don't follow, it can feel like you're failing. I want you to know you are not failing. The problem may not be with your effort, but with the information you've been given. What if one of the most trusted healthy foods in your pantry is in fact a hidden contributor to the very problem you're trying to solve? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on this exact issue, guided by the clinical experience of one of the nation's leading cardiologists. For decades, this expert has helped patients navigate the confusing world of nutrition to achieve real, lasting control over their blood pressure. Here is my promise to you. By the end of this video, you will not only know exactly what this common breakfast food is, but you will understand the precise scientific reasons it can be so damaging. More importantly, you will have a clear, simple, and delicious path forward. So, what is this common, healthy breakfast food that could be secretly sabotaging your blood pressure goals? Let's begin. The food we're talking about is one you almost certainly know. It has built a reputation over generations as a pillar of a heart-healthy diet. And that food is oatmeal. But not all oatmeal is created equal. The specific culprit we're targeting today is flavored, pre-packaged, instant oatmeal. The common belief is that if the box says oatmeal, it must be good for you. But according to the cardiologist whose work informs this video, this is one of the most dangerous misconceptions in the breakfast aisle. These convenient little packets can launch a three-pronged attack on your cardiovascular system. The first prong is a massive overload of added sugar. To make these packets taste appealing, food manufacturers often add a staggering amount of sugar. Some popular brands and flavors contain anywhere from 10 to 17 grams of added sugar in a single small serving. For perspective, that can be as much as 4 teaspoons of sugar. The second prong is the sodium bomb. You don't taste it because of all the sugar, but these packets are often loaded with sodium to enhance flavor and act as a preservative. A single serving of a maple and brown sugar variety can contain 217 milligrams of sodium. Plain, unflavored instant oats, by contrast, contain only about 62 milligrams. That's more than 3 times the sodium, hidden in a food you believe is helping your heart. The third prong is the processing problem. To make the oats cook instantly, they are rolled thinner and steamed longer than other types of oats. This process changes their structure and gives them a much higher glycemic index. This means your body digests them very quickly, causing a rapid spike in blood sugar that is significantly higher than the response you'd get from less processed, steel-cut, or rolled oats. Let's look at the numbers side by side. For a typical serving of plain instant oatmeal, you might see around half a gram of added sugar and about 60 milligrams of sodium. Now compare that to a common flavored packet, 13 grams of added sugar and 217 milligrams of sodium. The difference is not small. It is the difference between a health food and a processed product that can actively work against your goals. Now, hearing this can be unsettling, especially if this has been your go-to breakfast for years. It's perfectly normal to feel a bit surprised or even frustrated. But what I want you to remember is that this knowledge is not a reason for guilt. It is a tool for empowerment. I recall a cardiologist sharing the story of a patient, a gentleman in his late 60s. We'll call Robert. Robert was diligent. He walked every day. He took his medication as prescribed, and he started every single morning with what he thought was a heart-healthy bowl of cinnamon and spice instant oatmeal. Yet, his blood pressure just would not budge from that elevated range. He was doing everything he was told, yet saw no progress. And Robert's story isn't an isolated incident. This is a pattern seen over and over in clinical practice, and it is backed up by the numbers right there on the box. When you see more than 11 grams of added sugar and nearly 200 milligrams of sodium in one small packet, you are no longer looking at a simple grain. From a clinical standpoint, you are looking at a highly processed food, closer to a morning dessert, that is masquerading as a healthy choice. And it's this disconnect between perception and reality that we are here to correct today. For him, the simple act of switching his breakfast before any other changes were made was the key that finally started to unlock his progress. So, how do we begin to fix this? The first strategy our expert cardiologist recommends is simple, but it is absolutely non-negotiable. It is the bedrock upon which all other progress is built. We call it the foundational swap. You must replace the flavored sweetened packets with plain unsweetened oats. The how is straightforward. When you are at the grocery store, walk right past the boxes of flavored packets and pick up a container of plain oats. This could be steel-cut oats, which are the least processed and have a wonderful chewy texture. It could be old-fashioned rolled oats, or, if convenience is key, it can even be plain, unflavored instant oats. The why is even more simple. This single action immediately and completely removes the two primary offenders from your breakfast bowl, the added sugar and the excess sodium. You are taking back control from the food manufacturer and creating a clean slate for your morning meal. Now, if the idea of switching from a very sweet packet to plain oats feels like too big of a leap, here is a fantastic starting point for beginners. Begin by buying the plain, unflavored version of instant oatmeal. It still offers the speed and convenience you're used to, but it puts you in the driver's seat. You control what goes in it. This is a powerful and achievable first step. However, there is a critical mistake that many people make at this stage, a mistake that can completely undo all the benefits of making the swap. They ditch the packet, but then they immediately try to replicate its sweetness by loading up their plain oatmeal with large spoonfuls of other sugars, brown sugar, maple syrup, or honey. While these sweeteners might sound more natural, your body's metabolic response is very similar. A single tablespoon of maple syrup, for example, can contain 16 grams of sugar. That is often more sugar than was in the packet you just threw away. The goal here is not just to swap one source of concentrated sugar for another. The goal is to gently retrain your palate away from the expectation of intense sweetness at breakfast. I understand that for many, the initial taste of plain oatmeal can be, well, plain. This is completely normal. Your taste buds have likely been conditioned over years to expect a high level of sweetness first thing in the morning. I want to encourage you to be patient with yourself. It can take a week, maybe two, for your palate to adjust, but I promise you, it will. And as it does, you will begin to appreciate the subtle, nutty, and wholesome flavor of the oats themselves. This is not a journey of deprivation, it is a journey of rediscovery. Once you have made that foundational swap to plain oats, you have created a clean slate. You have successfully removed the negatives. Now, we move to the second and far more enjoyable strategy. We don't just remove the harm, we strategically add the help. We are going to transform your simple bowl of oats into a blood pressure-lowering powerhouse. This is where we focus on practical integration. We will use toppings that are not only delicious, but are specifically chosen for their ability to support cardiovascular health. Our primary focus will be on foods rich in potassium. Potassium is a crucial mineral that helps your body balance sodium levels and plays a direct role in relaxing the walls of your blood vessels, which helps to lower blood pressure. So what does this look like in your bowl? First, think of potassium powerhouses. Sliced bananas are a classic choice, easy to prepare and packed with potassium. Berries, like blueberries, strawberries, or raspberries, are another excellent option, adding natural sweetness, fiber, and antioxidants. You could also add a spoonful of plain, unsweetened yogurt, which provides not only potassium, but also calcium, another mineral important for blood pressure regulation. Next, add flavor without adding salt or sugar. A simple sprinkle of cinnamon can add a wonderful warmth and sweetness, and some studies suggest it may have its own modest benefits for blood pressure. Finally, add healthy fats and fiber for satiety. A small handful of unsalted nuts, like almonds or walnuts, or a spoonful of seeds, like chia or ground flaxseed, will not only add a satisfying crunch, but will also provide heart-healthy fats and extra fiber to keep you feeling full and energized all morning. Now, a common question that arises here is, what about granola? Isn't that a healthy topping? This is an excellent and very important question because it highlights another area where marketing can be misleading. According to leading dietitians, many, if not most, store-bought granolas are unfortunately a lot like those flavored oatmeal packets we just discussed. They are often loaded with hidden sugars and unhealthy fats to create that crunchy, sweet texture we enjoy. While the base ingredients like oats and nuts are good, the final product can easily become a calorie and sugar bomb. If you love the texture of granola, the key is to become a detective at the grocery store. Read the nutrition label vigilantly. Look for products where sugar or syrup is not listed as one of the first few ingredients, and aim for a brand that provides at least 3 to 5 grams of fiber per serving. An even better option is to make a simple granola at home, where you have complete control over every single ingredient. It is so easy to feel that healthy eating has to be bland or boring. This is a common point of failure, where people give up. They make the swap to plain oats, find it uninspiring, and within a week, they're back to the old familiar habit. Please, I urge you, do not see this as a diet of restriction. See it as an upgrade. You are not just taking things away. You are replacing empty, harmful sugar with vibrant, antioxidant-rich berries. You are swapping out hidden sodium for powerful, potassium-packed bananas. You are adding layers of flavor, texture, and nutrition that not only delight your senses, but actively work in concert to support your heart. Let's pause here for a moment and connect the dots. We began with the deep frustration that comes when your efforts to lower your blood pressure don't yield results. We then identified a hidden culprit that many people trust: the high-sugar, high-sodium world of flavored instant oatmeal. The solution we've built, based on sound clinical advice from cardiologists, is a simple two-part system. First, the foundational swap to plain oats, which immediately eliminates the harmful additives. And second, the strategy of powering up that bowl with potassium-rich fruits, healthy fats, and fragrant spices. It is crucial to see how these are not separate ideas, but a system that works in synergy. Strategy 1 is like clearing a cluttered, overgrown garden. You are methodically removing the weeds, the excess sugar and sodium that are choking the life out of it and preventing anything healthy from growing. Strategy 2 is like planting new, vibrant flowers and nutrient-rich vegetables in that cleared space. You are adding the potassium, the fiber, and the antioxidants that allow your health to truly flourish. One step clears the way for the other to be profoundly effective. You have been with me now for nearly 20 minutes, Your attention and your willingness to learn are a testament to your commitment to your own health. I want to sincerely commend you for that. You are already well on your way to taking back control. But understanding what to do is only half the battle. To truly lock in these benefits and make them last a lifetime, we need to go one level deeper. We need to understand why this system works so powerfully inside your body. It all comes down to a tiny, miraculous molecule that your own blood vessels are designed to produce. A molecule that the wrong kind of breakfast systematically shuts down, and the right kind of breakfast helps to turn back on. Understanding this single mechanism is the difference between simply following a diet and truly transforming your cardiovascular health from the inside out. To understand the why, let's talk about two heroes in our story. The first is a special type of soluble fiber found in oats called beta-glucan. The second, and most important for our discussion, is a gas molecule your body produces called nitric oxide. First, let's look at beta-glucan. Think of it as a gentle, intelligent regulator for your digestive system. When you eat a bowl of plain oats, this remarkable fiber dissolves in water and forms a thick, gel-like solution in your gut. This gel does two wonderful things for your health. First, it physically slows down the absorption of glucose or sugar from your meal into your bloodstream. Second, this gel actually binds to cholesterol-rich bile acids in your gut and helps escort them out of your body, which in turn helps lower your overall cholesterol levels. Now, let's turn to nitric oxide. This is the real game changer when it comes to blood pressure. According to leading cardiologists and cardiovascular researchers, nitric oxide is what's known as a potent vasodilator. The simplest way to think about it is like this. Imagine your arteries are like flexible garden hoses. Nitric oxide is the signal that tells the muscles inside those hoses to relax, allowing them to widen. When your arteries widen, blood can flow through them more freely and with less force. This directly and powerfully lowers your blood pressure. It is your body's own built-in system for blood pressure regulation. And here is the most critical link in our entire discussion. This is the piece of information that connects that sugary oatmeal packet directly to your blood pressure reading. Extensive research has now shown that a high intake of sugar, especially the simple sugar fructose, which is abundant in processed foods and sweeteners, directly inhibits your body's ability to produce this vital nitric oxide. So that sweet, flavored oatmeal packet wasn't just giving you empty calories. It was sending a chemical message throughout your body that actively told your blood vessels to constrict and tighten up. It was putting the brakes on your body's own natural, God-given system for keeping your blood pressure in a healthy range. By making the swap to a low-sugar, whole food breakfast, you are removing that brake. You are allowing your body to once again produce the nitric oxide it needs to let your blood vessels relax and open up. As you make this switch and your body begins to benefit from more beta-glucan and better nitric oxide function, please be patient. Don't expect your blood pressure to drop dramatically overnight. The first things you might notice are more subtle, but just as important. You might feel more stable, consistent energy throughout the morning, without that familiar mid-morning crash. You might feel fuller for longer after breakfast, reducing the urge to reach for unhealthy snacks. These are the first, quiet signs that your body is responding. They are the gentle beginnings of a profound and positive change. We have covered a great deal of ground together. We've identified a very specific problem with a trusted food. We have built a practical, step-by-step solution. And we have explored the deep science of why that solution works. Now, I want to bring it all together with one single unifying principle that will make all of this feel simple and effortless. The strategies we have just built, eliminating added sugars and hidden sodium, focusing on whole grains like oats, adding potassium-rich fruits and vegetables, and including small amounts of healthy fats from nuts and seeds. These are not just a collection of random tips. They are the foundational pillars of what is widely considered by cardiologists and major health institutions to be the gold standard for eating for heart health. That principle is the DASH eating plan. DASH stands for Dietary Approaches to Stop Hypertension. It is not a fad. It's not a restrictive, short-term diet. It is a flexible, scientifically proven pattern of eating that was developed by researchers with support from the National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute, a part of the National Institutes of Health. And here is the most empowering part. Without even realizing it, by following the steps in this video, you have just built a perfect, cardiologist-approved, DASH-compliant breakfast from the ground up. The true power of understanding this principle is that it gives you a compass for every other meal of the day. It simplifies all of your future food decisions. When you find yourself wondering, what should I have for lunch? Or what about dinner? The answer is no longer confusing. You simply follow the same principles you just learned. Aim for lean protein like fish or chicken. Fill half your plate with colorful vegetables. Choose whole grains over refined ones. Use healthy fats from sources like olive oil or avocado. By adopting this single, unifying principle, the healthy breakfast you've just created ceases to be an isolated action. It becomes the first, confident step in a complete and lasting transformation of your health and your relationship with food. So let's distill everything we've learned down into a simple, 4-step clinical action plan that you can begin tomorrow morning. Step 1. Purge. Go to your pantry and gather up any flavored, pre-sweetened oatmeal packets. Acknowledge that they served a purpose, but that purpose is now in the past. Remove them. Step 2. Replace. On your next trip to the store, stock up on plain, unsweetened oats. Rolled, steel-cut, or even plain instant, the choice is yours. Step 3. Power up. Fill your kitchen with your chosen healthy toppings. Buy the bananas, the frozen berries, the unsalted walnuts, the cinnamon. Make the healthy choice the easy choice. And step 4. Practice patience. Give your body and your taste buds time to adapt to this new, healthier way of eating. As you begin this journey, I want to hold one thought above all others. This is not about perfection. It is about progress. There will be days when you are rushed. There will be meals that are not perfectly on the plan. That is not a failure. It is simply part of being human. The goal is gentle, consistent effort. Be kind to yourself. Acknowledge every small victory. Every time you choose the plain oats. Every time you add a handful of berries. You are not alone in this. You are taking steps that millions of people have taken to reclaim their health. And you are absolutely, 100% capable of success. Remember the words of the writer Carl Sandburg. It's not that some people have willpower and some don't. It's that some people are ready to change and some are not. By watching this, by investing this time in your own well-being, you have proven to yourself that you are ready. Thank you for entrusting me with your time and your attention today. It is truly a privilege to share this vital knowledge, which is rooted in the expertise and clinical experience of so many dedicated medical professionals. Now, I would love to hear from you. This channel is a community of shared experience and support. In the comments below, please don't just share a question. Share a piece of your story. What is one power-up topping you are excited to add to your new breakfast bowl? Is it walnuts? Blueberries? A sprinkle of cinnamon? By sharing your ideas, you not only reinforce your own commitment, but you may just inspire someone else who is starting this journey alongside you. Remember, knowledge is the most powerful tool you have. Continue to be curious, be kind to yourself, and take charge of your health. If you found this information valuable, please consider liking this video and sharing it with someone you care about. And be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next deep dive into your health. Until next time.